You know, that phone in your pocket has completely changed how you work, how you talk to people, how you live your life. But what if it's also about to completely change how you learn? Today, we're going to talk about how corporate training has broken free from the classroom and found a powerful new home right there in your smartphone.
So you gotta wonder, when did this huge shift actually happen? What was the moment that took learning out of the dusty classroom, away from the desktop computer, and put it, well, everywhere else?
And the answer? It's super simple, but really powerful. It happened the second our main tool for getting information became this little device we carry with us 24/7. All of a sudden, learning wasn't an event you had to schedule. It became mobile, on demand, and always within reach. All right, so let's get into it. What are we actually talking about here? Mobile learning, or M-learning as you'll hear it called, has gone from just being some cool new thing to an absolutely essential part of any modern training program. So at its heart, M-learning is just about getting content to you on the one device you always have. But listen, this is the most important part. This isn't just about taking a long desktop course and shrinking it down to fit a tiny screen. No way! This is about learning in the flow of work. It's for when you're on your commute, or standing on a job site, or in those 5 minutes you have right before a meeting. It's training that finally works around our schedule instead of us having to work around it.
Okay, so what does this whole M-learning thing look like in practice? Well, you've got your platforms, the apps and the websites that are easy to use on a phone. Then you've got the content, which has to be short, sharp, and to the point. But the real magic, the whole point of this, is the goal. Just-in-time support. It's about giving an employee the one piece of information they need, right at the moment they need it, so they can solve a problem and get back to work.
Now, this is super important to get. Mobile learning is not here to get rid of your in-depth workshops or those big training courses. It extends them. It builds on them. Think of it as the tool that can finally reach your people on the front lines, your sales team out on the road, or your remote workers. It fills in all those little gaps that the old way just can't reach.
Okay, so we get what it is, but why does it matter? Why should any company actually care about this? Let's dive into the real-world advantages of taking your training mobile, because this is where it gets good.
All right, let's kick this off with a number that's kind of mind-blowing, 43%. That's the average boost in productivity for employees who use mobile learning. So why the huge jump? It's simple. When people can find the answers they need right away, they solve problems faster. That's a direct, measurable impact on the bottom line. It's huge.
And this chart, it really breaks down the impact on your resources. Since the content is in these small bite-sized pieces, employees finish training about 45% faster. That means less time away from their actual jobs. And we're talking about real money here. Take AT&T. They got their training costs by about 25% just by going mobile. That's because they didn't need to pay for travel, instructors, or printing out a ton of materials anymore. Okay, and check this out. This is a really interesting bit of psychology. Around 70% of people are actually more motivated to learn on their phone. Why? Because it just doesn't feel like work. It feels like all the other apps we scroll through every day. It's familiar, it's personal, and that makes people way more likely to actually finish what they start.
And the hits just keep on coming. You get total accessibility, anytime, anywhere. Because the lessons are short, people actually remember more. Knowledge retention can jump by up to 45%. You can push out updates instantly, which keeps your whole team on the same page. And look, this is a big one. It's what the modern workforce expects. If you want to attract and keep younger, digital native talent, you have to offer this kind of experience.
All right, so the why is pretty clear, right? It makes a ton of sense. The big question is how? How do you actually do it? How do you roll out a mobile learning strategy that people will actually use and love? Let's look at the game plan. So here's your roadmap, step by step. First, you have to know why you're doing this. What business goal are you trying to hit? Then you pick the right tool for the job. But step 3, this is where a lot of people go wrong. You have to design for mobile first. Think short videos, quick quizzes, interactive stuff. After that, you get people excited using things like leaderboards and social sharing. And finally, you gotta communicate to make sure everyone's on board.
But look, let's be real. It's not all smooth sailing. There are challenges. But the good news is, for every problem, there's a pretty smart fix. Worried people are too distracted on their phones? Perfect. Give them a lesson that only takes 3 minutes to complete. Worried about people just mindlessly scrolling? Make it interactive. Build in quizzes that force them to pay attention. Technical problems and security are definitely real concerns, but you can get ahead of them with lots of testing and clear company policies. Okay, this is my favorite part. This is where things get really cool.
Because mobile learning isn't just sitting still, it's evolving fast. So let's peek around the corner and see where all this is heading.
So, right now, we're all about these short, on-demand videos and lessons. That's the baseline. But what's next? Well, get ready for AI that creates a totally personalized learning path for every single employee, like having a private tutor in your pocket. And then, looking just a little further down the road, we're talking fully immersive, augmented, and virtual reality, where you can practice a new skill in a totally safe virtual world, all through your phone.
And this chart shows you exactly why that future is such a game changer. When you use stuff like VR, you're not just learning a concept, you're building confidence. You remember so much more because you actually did it. And that means you're far, far more likely to actually use that new skill back in the real world, where it counts.
So when you zoom out and look at the big picture, what does all this mean? It means learning isn't a separate thing you have to go do anymore. It's becoming totally integrated into how we work, it's getting super intelligent about what we need, and it's becoming immediate, right there the second we need it.
Which, brings us right back to the big question for you. This shift isn't coming, it's already here. It's being driven by the tech that's in all of our pockets. So the question isn't if your workforce will be learning on the move, the real question is your organization ready for it?